In each episode, we'll try to answer 7 common kid questions in 7 minutes. We'll tackle the common and uncommon questions kids often ask. No question is too weird. We hope you enjoyed today's episode.
Hello. Today, my brother Matthew will be in the full episode. Usually, you only hear him in the jokes, but today, he's in the full episode. He's new, so if you hear anything that's not normal from him, it will be fine. It's just because he's new.
Yep. In today's episode 77, we're joined by... I'm Christopher, and we're joined by my co-host Nathaniel and...
our co-host Nathaniel.
Matthew. And Matthew will be joining us. So... So are you excited to be on, Matthew?
Yes, he is.
Okay, great. Well, Nathaniel, if I remember, you and Mom were learning about the Arctic this past week. Is that right?
Yep.
Great. So today's episode will be about
the Arctic.
All right. Should I get into the questions?
Yep.
All right. What is the Arctic?
A cold desert. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cold desert. Yeah.
Cold desert. Yeah, that's pretty accurate, guys. The Arctic is at the most northern part of the Earth, above an imaginary line called the Arctic Circle that circles around the top of the globe. It's mostly sea, which is frozen a lot of the time. It is made up of the Arctic Ocean and parts of Canada, Russia, the United States, Greenland, Norway, Finland, Sweden, and Iceland. It is almost entirely covered by the ice and liquid water of the Arctic Ocean basin.
There's a place called Iceland.
Yeah, that's a country. Yeah.
That's funny.
Why is it funny?
Because ice and it's cold there. So Iceland.
Ice, yeah.
That's very funny.
The ice of the Arctic holds about 10% of the world's fresh water. This huge area of frozen water reflects sunlight, helping to keep the region cool. It also plays a very important role in keeping our planet's climate stable. Over recent years, the Arctic region has shrunk due to global warming. There are no trees in the Arctic, but there are small shrubs which grow in warmer parts of the Arctic, and also some herbs, mosses, and lichen. Anything else you guys know about the Arctic you want to tell?
That right now there is a red fox that's going to the Arctic a lot and is trying to take it over. And this is true. That red fox is trying to take over the whole Arctic.
That's right. We saw a documentary about how red foxes are moving further into the Arctic and disrupting the food chain.
Yep.
Why is the Arctic so... Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Well, so once in the video, we saw an Arctic fox and a red fox about to have a battle, and then they were like, no.
That's right, I remember that. The Arctic fox is smaller than the red fox, so it was intimidated and ran away.
Yeah, but it still had the advantage because it could blend in. The red fox couldn't, so they both had the advantage.
Yeah, the red fox was bigger, but the Arctic fox was covered in white fur, so it was able to camouflage easier.
And it's made for the snow. The red foxes aren't really made for the snow.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, the Arctic foxes are more adapted for the Arctic weather.
Yep.
So why is the Arctic so cold?
It is usually at the top or the bottom. For very far away from the warmest parts of the Earth.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So the Arctic is very cold because they don't get a lot of direct sunlight. But Antarctica is a lot colder than the Arctic. That's because the Arctic is mostly ocean surrounded by land, while Antarctica is mostly land surrounded by ocean. And Antarctica is much higher up than the Arctic. The higher you go, the colder it gets. Matthew, did you have anything else you wanted to tell us?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay. Let's see if Matthew knows this one. Matthew, can humans live in the Arctic?
Yes.
Yes, you're right.
Yep.
Go ahead.
And never do this in the Arctic. Never breathe on your camera if you're taking a picture. And don't breathe on your binoculars if you're looking for something. It freezes immediately.
Yeah, that's right. It's so cold there that if you breathe on your binoculars, the breath from the water vapor from your breath freezes onto your binoculars and makes it difficult to see through them.
And never do this. Jump into the ocean in the Arctic. You will die.
Yes, the Arctic is very cold. Humans can live there. Even though it's so cold, about 4 million people live there. The indigenous people, or the people who live there the longest, are called the Inuits. They have come up with really creative ways to survive in the super cold part of our planet. Yeah.
Oh, finish your sentence.
I was going to say some Inuit people build shelters called igloos out of blocks of ice. Igloos keep the wind out and the warm inside.
People live in igloos?
Well, they've developed shelters called igloos. I would have to look it up, but I don't believe they live there full time. I think they use it as temporary shelters.
And some people call themselves polar bears because even when it's really, really cold, they still go swimming.
Yes, there's something called the Polar Bear Club. Do you know what the smallest Arctic animal is, Matthew?
Oh, lemming. Oh yeah, lemming.
Yes. The smallest animal in the Arctic is the wood lemming, which is about 8 centimeters long. A lemming is a tiny rodent, like a mouse, that is found near the Arctic Circle. They are thought to be related to voles and muskrats. What is the biggest bear? Wait, let's see if Matthew knows this one. Matthew, do you know what the biggest bear is?
Polar bear.
Yes! Polar bear! The polar bear. Yeah.
There's a type of white bear that lives in the forest, not the Arctic, called a spirit bear, I think. And there's another called a sloth bear. The dad ones actually eat the babies. The moms don't. It's kind of weird.
I'm not too familiar with those, but I will take your word for it.
Yeah.
What are the Northern Lights?
The Northern Lights, I don't know how to explain. They're lights in the sky. They're just lights in the sky.
How about you, Matthew? Do you have anything else to add?
No.
No? The Northern Lights are also called auroras, or colorful, yes?
In Pokemon, there's something called Ultra Aura, which used to use Z-moves, which is not anything related to this.
No, it's nothing related to this. They're colorful glowing lights in the sky that are created when particles from the sun meet the Earth's magnetic field. This only happens towards the top and bottom of the Earth, the North and South Poles. Displays of pale green and pink are the most common, but people have also reported seeing shades of red, yellow, green, blue, and violet. The light appears in many forms, from patches or scattered clouds of light to streamers, arcs, ripping curtains, or shooting rays that light up the sky.
Stars?
Was that a question?
Could they be stars?
Are the Northern Lights stars?
No, could they be stars? In a form that makes a star.
Oh, in the form that makes a star.
It's possible, but has anyone seen it?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Well, that's it for today's episode of 7 and 7. It was our Arctic episode.
That was very short.
That was very short. That was our fastest one, I think.
Was it 9 minutes?
Well, the goal is to get to be 7 minutes, but yeah, maybe it was 9 minutes.
How many minutes was it?
Oh, we'll find out when we're done.
Okay, goodbye.
Wait.
Oh.
How about a joke from a 4-year-old?
Yeah.
Should we do that?
Yeah, do it, Matthew.
Matthew, do you want to
Is it the owl one? Yeah. Okay. I think I'll need to remind him, so I think we'll do it together. Ready, Matthew? What does an owl say when it's scared? Owl!
Thanks, guys. All right.
Bye. I'm leaving the chair.